managed, and there could be some breathing room for the forex reserves.
Now, as you've already explained, gold buying is really deeply embedded in Indian culture. Do you think a government appeal like the one from Narendra Modi can be expected to actually change people's behavior in this regard, stop them buying gold for a wedding?
Yeah, it's tough, but because it's an appeal from the head of the state, there is an appeal directly from the government. There could be some changes in trends or in discretionary purchases in the coming weeks, but would it change sort of the long-time trend of buying gold for as long as a period as Prime Minister Modi has appealed for a whole year? That's a tough ask, given the traditional value that the Indian population attaches to gold, also again from the investment perspective. So if it doesn't come to discretionary changes in the way purchases of gold takes place within, or the domestic demand takes place within the Indian population, then perhaps there are other instruments that the government will have to use in case this continues and the volatility, uncertainty owing to the conflict continues and there is no resolution in sight.
So what would that look like? I mean, if this appeal doesn't work to get Indians to stop buying gold, what's the next lever that the government could realistically pull to boost its foreign currency reserves?
Well, there are a couple of other measures that the Indian government will push for. We've seen that with other Asian governments. India is a little bit of a latecomer here, but we saw what other South Asian nations did. They applied these austerity measures, all of these things that Prime Minister Modi laid out. We've seen other countries in Asia and the sub-regions implement them. And so we might see a more stricter stance from the government to impose some of these measures in light of what kind of pressures may come if the energy price volatility is going to continue, and if it's going to look increasingly difficult to manage the rupee and increasingly difficult to manage the forex reserves. Then there might be a policy instrument that has to be applied here so that the population has to formally abide by a certain condition here. So if they leave it to the discretion, then it might be harder. And again, certain industrial measures are harder to impose than the others. So again, fertilizer imports, they are going to be a difficult one to curb. So unless there is a way to domestically do something about diversifying your energy portfolio in the short run, which is unlikely. And this will be a tough year for all Asian economies, all import-dependent Asian economies like India.
Farwa, thank you very much for speaking with us today. That was Farwa Amma from the Asia Society Policy Institute. You're watching DW News. Just a reminder of our top stories this hour. U.S. President Donald Trump has said the ceasefire with Iran is on life support. He's rejected the latest Iranian proposals for ending the war, calling Tehran's demands totally unacceptable. And the European Union has imposed new sanctions against Israeli settlers, pointing to a surge in violence against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. Israel has rejected the measures as arbitrary and political. Don't forget, you can get all the latest news and information anytime you want on our website. That's dw.com. And you'll find us on social media, including YouTube, our handle there at DW News. I'm Terry Martin. From me and all of us here at DW, thanks for watching.
It's really important for AAPI stories to be told.
When we search for who we are.
It's so amazing, the family history I never knew.
When the journey.
This was the beginning of our journey to seek the American dream.
Brings us home.
Just getting those stories out there, that can be a very powerful thing.
World. Breaking through.
KOZK Transportation, proud to support OPT World because strong communities are built on understanding and connection. The World Channel provides programming that opens windows to the world through culture, education, and conversation. KOZK Transportation, offering a variety of public and private passenger transportation services in the 4-state region since 1975. Reservations and quote information at fisklimo.com. Easter Law Firm, proud to be part of the Ozarks community, where values like connection, care, and trust are at the heart of everyday life, from local markets to shared stories. Because strong communities are built on understanding and connection, Easter Law Firm supports OPT World, a channel providing programming that opens windows to the world through culture, education, and conversation.
Holy cow, there's a lot of wind. I can barely hear what I'm saying. How am I supposed to jump out of the plane? This is nuts.
Why is he being nice to me right now? I hate that. Doesn't he know I stole his spot?
What is she gonna do if she finds out the truth? That I don't want to be in this relationship.
Funding for presentation of this program is provided by the Freeman Foundation,
the Judy and Peter Bloom Kovler Foundation, upholding freedom by strengthening democracies at home and abroad.
And now, BBC News.
I'm Katrina Perry in Washington, and this is BBC World News America. 3 more passengers from the virus-plagued cruise ship have tested positive for hantavirus as more than a dozen U.S. passengers remain in quarantine in Nebraska.
And let me be clear, let me be crystal clear, the risk of hantavirus to the general public remains very, very low.
President Trump says the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is on massive life support after rejecting an Iranian proposal that the president deemed totally unacceptable. And Sir Keir Starmer is under pressure to resign, with calls from cabinet ministers and others within his own party after suffering a massive defeat at the polls. Hello, you're very welcome to the programme. 3 more passengers on the cruise ship MV Hondius have tested positive for hantavirus. The positive tests of passengers from France, Spain and the US bring the total number of suspected and confirmed cases on the ship to 10. The US national is among 16 people now isolating at the US National Quarantine Unit in Omaha, Nebraska. 2 others are in quarantine in Atlanta, Georgia. The governor of Nebraska